So just a quick heads up, this is a re-upload of a video that was originally posted June 3rd of this year to my second channel, and I'm re-uploading it here. However, in the original video, I have some really stupid takes that I no longer stand by. However, for future purposes, I'm going to end up keeping them in the original video. Since this entire thing will be split up into chapters, found in the description by the way. If the name of a chapter is something along the lines of I don't like the color yellow, just know that that is probably a take of mine that I think is really stupid, or it's a failure on my part to provide good and constructive criticism on whatever I am trying to criticize. With that said, we can move on with the original video. So as of the recording of this audio, the new season is only a few days away from us, but by the time that this video is out, there's a good chance that the new update has already dropped. However, a week before the community actually got to play the new season, I had done a reaction on one of my streams, which link in the description below, by the way, to my main channel. This is where I am most active. I stream somewhat frequently, and I stream a variety of video games along with tier list and, of course, reaction content. That's where the footage from this video comes from. But back on topic, the video that I was reacting to is currently titled, Was Chapter 5 Season 2 Actually Good? Which, by the way, there's also a link in the description below to both the video that I reacted to and the actual uploader, LilSmurf. Link in the description below to his channel and the video. But the whole premise behind this video essentially is me and this person are not on the same page. Most of the takes that I've heard from them regarding this game, I do not agree with. And I'm putting this at the beginning of the video because it's going to be very obvious that I don't agree with this person. However, despite this, there is no hate to this person, and I don't want any brainlit fucking dumbass to go harass this person because I don't agree with them. This video is uploaded with the sole purpose of sharing my disagreements and my overall opinions of the season, as well as the game in general. It is not to hate on this person. I don't hate on this person because they don't agree with me. With that said, this is going to be a pretty long video, so if you have to, feel free to leave this playing in the background or in a second window. And on an unrelated note, along with my main channel, LilSmurf, and the video that I reacted to, there is a link in the description below for every single piece of music that I have used throughout this video, as well as any upload that I have taken from YouTube that I feel deserves to be credited, along with their creator, as well as a link to my live stream archive channel here on YouTube, a link to my Twitch, my Twitter, as well as a link to any creator that I feel you guys should go check out, all in the description below. This video will have timestamps if you want to skip to a specific section of the video, and as always, thank you guys for watching in advance, and I'll see you all next time. It's 9 minutes and 3 seconds. Our goal is to turn this into a 4-hour stream.
A bunch of people just come out and talk about their pure hatred for this season, talking about how it's literally the worst season of all time. I wish I was joking. That is an actual take from someone.
I mean, I personally wouldn't blame them for thinking that this season is the worst, but I wouldn't agree with them. It's only in D tier, guys. It's not that bad.
It was kind of all ruined because the entire season...
Oh my god, guys! I'm not sure if I posted something about this on Twitter. I can go check real quick. Yay! I'm logged into my Twitter account. Let's go. I posted this tweet right here. The whole joke there is that you couldn't play the game because the launch was so terrible.
Extended by like a whole 13 hours, basically meaning that a lot of people didn't get to play the season when it came out.
It's like that and the previous season, it just left such a bad taste in my mouth that I didn't even want to bother with it. Can I just add, by the way, that I think it's funny that everything is based off of Greek mythology, yet all of the Greek gods use guns. Like, yeah, Hades has like his Hanes of Chades, and Zeus has his like thunderbolts, but those are items you can pick up. It's not like they're powered. And it's not even like in Chapter 2, Season 4, where it's like all of the Marvel heroes, like you kill them and you get like you have like a mythic that you can collect. So I am sorry that you guys had to hear all of that, and I know for a fact that the point I was trying to make, I didn't do a good job at actually explaining it very well, so I'm adding this in during editing. For example, yes, you could find stuff like Thor's hammer and Groot's little ball thing. I don't remember what it did. You could find that around the map, though I believe you did have to search special chests to do so, or kill those little, like, spear bot thingies. I don't remember what they're called. They were like the Galactus stuff. But if you wanted to use stuff like Wolverine's claws, Iron Man's Unibeam, or I love it just for arcane in the name alone, the Doctor Doom's arcane gauntlets, you had to eliminate their respective bosses, and then afterwards, you are the only person in the match to actually have those abilities. And not to sound like IGN here, but when you're flying around in the air with Iron Man's repulsors, it kind of makes you feel like Iron Man flying through the air. However, when you defeat a boss in the current season, the only thing that you get for defeating said boss, in which you have to go through multiple phases and you're extremely exposed while doing so, is that boss's mythic weapon, which is a variant of a weapon that already exists in the game, just boosted numbers. And that, for example, if you defeat Hades, you get his siphon ability, which is, you know, it can be great, but the problem with that is when you compare it to what we got in Chapter 2, Season 4, you can't really achieve the same feeling that you got when you defeated Wolverine, which was a very hard boss to defeat, by the way. And once you actually manage to defeat him and get his claws, it's like you get to fly, you get to dash through the air and slash at people like you're Wolverine. That's the point I was trying to make. This whole season's based off of Greek mythology, but no Kratos. Cringe. How dare they? Automatic 0 out of 10. That's a -1 out of 10, actually.
Medallions were actually completely overhauled. Instead of just...
Thank God. That is easily the best thing that happened this season. I hated medallions last season. You literally got free shield for doing nothing. Originally, it was you have one medallion and over time you reach 100 shield. But then they had to nerf it, and even then it was too powerful because you did nothing. You could sit on your fucking ass and you just get to heal for free. There was literally no way. If you did not have a medallion, no game was winnable. I won a singular game without any medallions. It's me and 2 other people. I have a sniper. I killed the person who had, like, the medallions. I didn't take them, however, because I wanted to get 1 win without a medallion, and I managed to get a snipe on the final person. Because that is the only way that you could beat the old medallions, is to it either had to be like a 1v4, where the person with the medallions is getting jumped by 4 people, so constant pressure, you can't deal with it, or one-shot weapons. That's the only way you can beat somebody with medallion. Either they just like rat away, so they just run until they heal up, or you two are both taking chip damage, and you, assuming that it's not like the final circle and one of you have to push the other. If one person has medallion and the other person doesn't, it's basically just chip damage until you ran out of resources, assuming you're the person without the medallion, and the other person just wins by default. If both of you have medallions, it's a continuous stalemate until one of you decide to push the other. You could not win without a medallion. There was no chance. I don't know how anyone could unironically enjoy the last season, minus the Ninja Turtle weapons came to the game. That's all. That's all I can think of. That's like the best thing that happened that season. Medallions alone is like what ruined the season for me. Excuse the interruption, but I just want to add a little bit of context as for the next clip you're going to see. LilSmurf brought up the 2 Greek mythology items that were initially added at the beginning of the season, and pretty much everything that he has to say is stuff I agree with, but there is stuff I wanted to add on to the bolts of Zeus that there isn't any context for, so just know that I have a friend that really likes the Zeus's Thunderbolts, and that's all you need to know. Also, there's Jedi Fallen Order gameplay because I'm an idiot and I don't know how to switch from one scene to another on OBS. Oops. So my friend Blue loves the Thunderbolts, but he was only able to really use them in Flora's Lava. But the problem with the Thunderbolts as well, which you can mitigate by having like the 3 skulls thing, you're just like stationary in the air. If you're the one getting struck by the Thunderbolt, you know, it's going to be very difficult for you to do this. But for example, it's the same thing with the Kamehameha, as some people may call it. You do this big ass charge up, and then some dude from like the other side of you just pulls out a fucking sniper and just shoots you in the head. Or just lasers you with an AR. The only real upside to using the Thunderbolts, considering that you're open to any kind of damage thrown your way, and the fact that you only have 3 uses, the only upside to it really, a direct Thunderbolt is 80 damage, I'm pretty sure. Like the third Thunderbolt can, I'm pretty sure, go through walls, which is stupid. Overall, the new items that they added were like underwhelming to me. It's like, cool, another filler item that I'm never going to pick up because it's objectively bad.
And you could get shot down pretty easily.
I literally just said that. Okay, so we're on the same page, basically.
Also, there was Zeus's Thunderbolt, and so many people were calling this the most broken item in Fortnite history. It was pretty easy to counter, not gonna lie. You could literally just snipe the person in the head.
Alright, so we're on the same page, basically. I didn't even know people thought it was overpowered. Well, I guess it could destroy builds as well, so if you didn't have the wings of Icarus, you could just, you know... There's this thing called fall damage that you can take and die.
But it did deal damage through builds, so I can understand why some people would be mad, but at the same time, like...
Only on the third bolt, though. Remember that, guys. Only on the third bolt.
Boy, did they deliver with the Midas event.
Midas is the sexiest daddy. Easily the biggest highlight of the season. I was consistently playing Floor is Lava, even though I'd consider Floor is Lava as like a D-tier LTM. I consider it D-tier because the amount of RNG that you have to have in order to win the game, combined with the fact that you're unironically playing with Unreal players, just sweating their balls off in a casual game mode, is just insufferable. Seeing Midas again was cool. Too bad it led to nothing.
He added a new weapon, the Chains of Hades.
The Hanes of Chades. I don't know how the item is right now because since the Hanes of Chades was first added, that's when I really stopped playing the game, to be honest. I was so frustrated with the fucking game that it literally did not feel any different from playing ranks. You know what I did? I played one ranked game. And I won this ranked game with 6 kills. And the final kill, this dude is fucking jumping around with like the skull thing, like the aspect of something from the wolf person, and he's going around trying to hit a snipe off of me like a no-scope or something. And I just shit on him with the Hanes of Chades. And that's how I won my first ranked game. Plus, this was a bug, but it could damage through walls, which I was able to... I've used it in Floor is Lava and not even known it. I had thought that it was a bug, but it went on for so long that it didn't occur to me. I'm pretty sure what happened, though, is, like, despite the range on this thing, which is 15 meters for like the melee and then 40 meters at least for the pole. Like, the range, it might seem good, but the problem with the range is, because of how the weapon functions, it's, like, very easy to... If you've ever played Dead by Daylight, you'd be, like, very familiar with, like, a 360. It's like an FOV tech that allows you to abuse the killers like FOV, which I'm not sure if it's possible anymore because they added an FOV slider, apparently. But, like, it was very easy to just, like, be trying to hit somebody, and it just doesn't work. For each swing, it does a lot of damage, and it's like a chain of 3 hits, and then final hit, it's a knockback. I don't know if it's weak or if it's just people figured out how to counter it. I just want to add that that's how I won my first ranked game ever. So I don't know if this thing is too powerful or not.
And the other side despised it, said it completely ruined the season, and someone even said that it ruined Avatar for them. How is it going to ruin the... What am I talking about? I'm talking about the Avatar update.
This is easily one of the worst collabs we've ever gotten in the game, by the way. I do have an inherent bias against anime, and I need to say that because, like, for example, it doesn't matter if the Ohio Punch is a My Hero Academia collab item. If it's still powerful, it's still powerful. And if it's fun to use, then that's all that should really matter. So if we're talking, like, from a gameplay perspective, this is one of the worst collabs we've ever gotten. Yo, real shit, dead ass, no cap. Rate the Avatar collab 1 to 10.
3.
Shit, I was about to say the same thing. This is a 3 for me too.
Basically, these were pretty cool weapons. Firebending was kind of mid, can't even lie.
Is the worst one out of all of them. Firebending Mythic was mid. What do we think of that? Because I think
I actually like that one.
Because I think it was worse than mid. Is the worst one out of all the mythics we got. Literally, the only redeeming quality of the Firebending Mythic is the fact that you could save yourself from fall damage with the AoE attack. That's literally it. The Firebending Mythic is flawed on a fundamental level, it does not work in a shooter game. Maybe I can find someone actually using the attack. Let me show you what this looks like, okay? Look at this. You see that? You're like throwing your fist around. When you're using a weapon, like for example, do you remember the shotgun blue? Because I'm pretty sure you played during this season. The shotgun, it's different from every other shotgun we've ever gotten in the game. Instead of like the square spread, it's like it's shot in a singular horizontal line, I believe. So it would shoot straight from left to right, and you could like upgrade the weapon too if you did damage with it. Do you remember that?
I don't think so.
Okay, fair enough. It's called the Chrome Shotgun, by the way.
Yep.
That's the spread for this thing. And it shoots you forward. Once you start attacking with this thing, you are committed. And it's not like it's easy to aim either. It's not easy at all. You're also able to do something else that this guy did not show. If you do enough attacks, then you'll do like this slam attack thing where like you slam your hands together. It's also like it's like a spread attack that has like a much wider spread than this. But you have to put so much effort into using this thing. You fire these things off, and then here's what happens. The person moves to the side, and they shoot you. And you can't do anything about it. You can't build. You can't pull out another weapon and shoot them with it. You use this attack move. And the damage that it did, it wasn't even that much considering how difficult it was to aim with this thing and how little value you got from it.
Earthbending was useful in zero builds and it kind of hit a bit hard. Waterbending was...
I want to know how it hit hard. Here's how earthbending works in zero build. You find a person in zero build and you build a wall, basically. You have like a little wall thing, and here's what happens. The person just goes around to the wall, you just get killed. That's like the only reason you'd want to use this in zero build. Is for that wall. Because in builds, the wall is useless. It has like a niche effect where if like you activate it when someone's nearby, like, it'll knock them back. But bro, who the f is gonna use that unironically? The only reason you'd want to use the wall is if you're like in a tight corridor and you want to run, which, you know, running is always fun. Or if you're out in the open and you really just have like no other options. If you're using it on the high ground, and it's like final circle, for example, it's just overkill. But if you're on the low ground, if you have it so the wall is facing the opposite direction of the person high above you, it's possible that if they're low enough, you can hide behind the part of the wall that you're not supposed to hide behind because it provides more cover altogether. But it doesn't matter because you still have to push the other individual, so it literally does nothing. And then the actual projectile, on paper, it should be good, especially in build mode. It insta-destroys any wall that has as much health or lower as a brick wall. So basically, anything that isn't a mostly fully built metal wall will get broken. If you're far enough away, you actually could, like, throw a rock and then immediately start shooting afterward before the rock even connected. But it doesn't matter because it's not useful. You throw the rock out, it breaks the wall, right? And then here's what happens. 0.7 milliseconds later, the wall is rebuilt. And you only have like 5 of these. So it's not like you can continue to pressure them. It's not like you can even like reliably hit them either, because the way that the projectile is shaped, you have to be far away to hit them with it in the first place, because if you try to hit them with it up close, you're dead. But up far, it's the way the projectile is shaped, it's very difficult to hit. Not impossible. Much easier to hit than the firebending, which is funny. I think with the earthbending mythic, I don't think they wanted to repeat what they did with the force throw, where you just like throw a whole bunch of rocks at the person and it's just completely uncountable. But in doing so, they played it safe. And it's just, there's no reason to carry the mythic. Not good. Probably like D tier.
Kind of bad at first, but then it became absolutely broken, like out of nowhere. Like there was no point in picking up an SMG this season. Like you just pick up waterbending, you won.
Okay, so waterbending, I played against a Travis Scott the day before the Avatar Collab ended. And he was unironically trying to use waterbending. Do you know what happened to him? He got fucking clapped. This Travis Scott was 100% better than me, but because he was using waterbending, he got clapped. Waterbending does not replace SMGs. The damage that you can do with the waterbending, to be fair, it's pretty high. Here's the thing though. You have to actually be able to hit your shots. And the reason I say hit the projectiles is because if you're up close to somebody, the projectile speed is so slow. And when I say this, I don't mean like Neo has his hand waving and all the bullets just freeze. It's not like that. But compared to other weapons where it is near hit scan, I say near hit scan because if you're up close, you're getting shot by it if someone has a cursor over your body. Compared to other weapons in the game, the projectile for the waterbending mythic is so slow that if you are able to hit your shots with this thing, it is legit luck. From far range, the projectile speed is so slow that you're not hitting anybody unless they are legit traveling. Like, for example, someone's gliding, they legit have to be traveling in a straight line. That's the only way you can hit people from afar. The only effective range is medium range, and it's not really even effective there either, because the projectile speed is so slow that literally what you're doing with the waterbending, you could try to do with an AR or even a sniper, and you'll get much more value. Maybe not with a sniper if you're not, like, confident in your aim, but at least with an AR, or even an SMG in this matter, you get way more value out of using that at medium range than you do with the waterbending mythic. So guess what? The waterbending mythic is only good for killing bots. That's literally it. Because of how much damage it does. There's literally no point to using the waterbending mythic. Just run an SMG. It just gets outclassed. So I literally don't know what this man is talking about.
And then there was airbending, which
Airbending is easily the best mythic out of all of them, and it's actually so sad. Because here's what you do with airbending. It's easily one of the most brain-dead items we've gotten ever. You activate it, it's literally just like driving a car. That's literally it. You're just rolling around in a wind ball, and you're just, cruising around. And that's literally all the item was. There's no skill to using it. The only skill there was really to using it is trying not to get shot. It's easily the least dynamic mobility item we've gotten in the game, and one of the most brain-dead items ever. The only real, skillful thing you can do with the airbending mythic was, you had, this little jump you could use, and that's really it. At least with the airbending mythic, though, you could, for example, if there's, an unclimbable mountain, you can just use the airbending mythic, and you'll just, slowly go up. Do you think, overall, the Avatar Collab was good or not?
I didn't really like it, no. There's still one season that I hate the most.
Can you describe the season for me?
Paradise?
Yeah, Paradise is it's at the bottom of D tier on my list, I'm pretty sure.
I hated it.
Easily the best thing probably to come out of that season was Gwen Stacy.
Vitamin, yep.
So this section of the video, he mentions how the 3 Greek mythology items we got were temporarily removed, and he voices how he thought it was disappointing that it was removed. And I gave a take on it that I wouldn't say I necessarily disagree with, but I do think it was a bad take, so I'm removing it from the actual video, and I'm just going to add this in instead. In Chapter 2, Season 5, a mechanic was added to the game called sand tunneling to go alongside with the sand biome that they had added in the middle of the map. What it did doesn't really matter. All that matters is it was kill switched for a majority of the season due to bugs. It was not the only thing added to the game, however, during this time. Exciting map changes bringing along new POIs to explore and conquer, such as the Colosseum in the middle of the map. New items getting added to the game alongside the charged shotgun getting unvaulted, such as the lever action shotgun, the 0-point crystals, which function the same way that the leprechaun water does in the game currently, and Mando's sniper rifle, which also functioned as a melee weapon alongside his jetpack. Bounty boards and gold was added to the game during this time, and it also brought along the first interactable NPCs, which came with a new item rarity exotic, which brought a plethora of new items into the game, such as the boom sniper rifle, hop rock dualies, and one of my favorite items ever, the dub shotgun, which you bought from these NPCs using gold. On top of the constant updates that we got during this season, it helped to make the game feel fresh and make the season feel different from all of the other seasons. Items are only one part of what makes a season good or bad. The 3 Greek mythology-based items were not the only thing added to the game. Considering that the elemental bending scrolls were added as a replacement for the Greek mythology weapons, and this change was only temporary, if the removal of 3 items is enough to make or break an entire season, making it feel stale, boring to play, or for some people ruining the entire season, then that is either a failure on the game developer's end to provide an engaging experience for the consumers, the people playing their game, or it becomes an issue of subjectivity, and that makes it a you problem. I'm sorry that I went on for so unbelievably long, especially over what is probably a nitpick at best. I just wanted an excuse to talk about Chapter 2. If you couldn't tell already, I love Chapter 2, and I love any excuse I get to talk about Chapter 2. Plus, it's kind of fun for me to, really have to think about not only what I want to say, but then I bring up these comparisons and stuff. I enjoy it. With that said, I'm done with my rambling now, so we can get back to the video. Unironically, I think the Star Wars update, at least in recent memory, is the laziest f***ing collab we've gotten.
Which one?
The current Star Wars event that's going on right now is literally the worst.
I don't know. I like the crossbow blastos.
Now, this might be a little bit biased because I am a little bit of a Star Wars fan, but still, I really like this update. The blaster rifles that they added were fun.
You serious?
The only item that they added in this update, new item, was the bowcaster, which I can't speak for how good it is because I have not used it in a real match, so I'm not going to say if it's good or not. It's that, and then they unvaulted stormtroopers, unvaulted E11 blasters, and unvaulted Darth Vader. So that's not bad, right? But here's the problem. You can only find Darth Vader on one end of the map, and there's only one lightsaber in the game. The whole entire f***ing appeal of Star Wars, lightsabers, and there's only one. Here's why it worked in Chapter 3, Season 3, and Season 4, but it doesn't work now. I'll be talking about Darth Vader, by the way. In Chapter 3, Season 4, Darth Vader's lightsaber was not the only lightsaber you could get. You could still find, I believe they were special chests that you could get lightsabers from. And then in Chapter 3, Season 3, when Darth Vader was added to the game, which was a few weeks into the season, he was there for the rest of the season, and technically, you could have 2 people in a match with Darth Vader's lightsaber because of tens. That's why it worked. Here, it doesn't work because there's only one lightsaber. So there's no opportunity to do lightsaber duels with anybody. You can't use force power. The only, effective thing that you can do with the Darth Vader's lightsaber is to throw the son of a bitch. And then everyone's gonna want to get Darth Vader's lightsaber, and there's no alternative. So if you want Darth Vader's lightsaber, you either have to settle with trying to find the fucking person that landed Darth Vader's ship and survived and killed the fucking bastard.
What? I actually haven't seen the lightsabers. The lightsaber.
It's nearby, it's like this little island where Snake was, north of Lavish Lair. That's probably why I haven't seen it. Because they don't even show Darth Vader landing on the map. I had to look up a video just to figure out where the f*** he was. But once everyone knows where they are, it's either you wait to find the person that has this lightsaber and kill them, good luck with that, or have fun throwing match after match after match after match, just beating your head into a wall. This is what the gameplay devolved to in Chapter 4, Season 2. I rage quit. It's just you're beating your head into a fucking wall, landing this location continuously, getting match after match after fucking match, just constantly getting by the stormtroopers, by Darth Vader, by the players that landed the location, by players that are just gonna wrap their fucking way over to the location and third party you after you kill Darth Vader. It is insufferable. But at least you had other options. At least you could say, I'm just gonna get the force throw, I'm gonna get the lightsaber from that, it's more powerful anyway. It's on a recharge too. But no, you don't even have that. You have no alternative. This update provided nothing. What little it did provide, you should be able to hear it in my voice right now, that's frustrating. I want to see what else this man says about the Star Wars event before I continue on my ramblings any further.
One complaint I do have about this is there's only one lightsaber on the island, and it is the most mid lightsaber. Like, let's be honest, Darth Vader's is definitely the worst one.
So I guess lightsabers that don't have a secondary ability that only function as a melee weapon just don't exist. Like, okay, sure buddy, sure. Even if you completely ignore default lightsabers, the ability to spam such a powerful attack, such as Darth Vader's lightsaber with very little cooldown, creates an oppressive tool that leaves for very little counterplay. It also doubles as a boomerang, which can not only go through multiple walls, as in destroy multiple walls, but even if the wall does not get broken as the lightsaber travels back towards you, it will still go through the wall and damage any player in its path. If you're using Darth Vader's lightsaber as intended, which is as a close quarter melee weapon, it may not feel that powerful to you, but being able to continuously spam throw the lightsaber on top of being able to use it as a close quarter melee weapon creates these nightmarish situations for the other player to deal with, which ironically enough is probably in character for Darth Vader. At least with force abilities you couldn't spam them. Imagine if all you needed to use force throw was some kind of force stamina that you could easily regenerate by standing still. Hopefully I've got my point across. If I need to elaborate on something or go deeper, I'm happy to do so in the comments below and potentially on a live stream, but I just needed to add this section into the video because my guy was dissing on Darth Vader, and that's just not cool, man. We don't tolerate that, man. Don't be dissing on my boy like that. Come on. I feel like an update that lightsabers should get, which would be pretty cool, in Jedi Fallen Order, and most likely Survivor as well. If you parry the projectiles that are coming at you, send it right back at the opponent. I think if lightsabers got that update, by themselves, they'd be way more effective. Because then you actually have some counterplay for, like, if someone's shooting you with an AR, for example, and they're just lighting up your shit, you should be able to parry that shit. Not only would that be cool, but it would take some skill to do. It would take some skill to use. You would need to know when to do it, and you would need to know how to do it. I think that would be really cool if you could just whoop that shit out and just start deflecting that shit.
I would have much rather that they brought back the force powers from the last May the 4th event, and even though that...
Because even if they brought back more lightsabers, if they didn't do that, it's just a downgrade from the last event.
A huge sandstorm came onto the island, and it looks like that's going to be in next season with an apocalypse theme season.
I'm going to be honest, guys, I didn't even know a live event happened. Like, because of the leaks, I knew that it was something that was going to happen, but...
What live event?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Should I missed it?
Yeah, you missed it. I missed it too. I didn't even know what was happening. Like, I knew it was gonna happen because of leaks. I look at my phone, right? Sometime after I get out of school, I see a stream from Cypher PK, and it says live event, and I click on it, and it's literally just him playing a creative map. It's not even like with the Pandora's box where there was any kind of build-up. It's like the only reason people knew this was happening was because of leaks, and everybody missed it from what I'm aware of.
This was a good season.
I wouldn't say it's one of the worst seasons we've gotten. It's in D tier for a reason, guys. What would you give the season overall?
It wasn't the worst.
I think the most that the season could get is like a 3.8 out of 10 from me. I don't think it deserves to go any lower than 3, but it doesn't deserve to go above 3.
This is the thing that people say they wanted. They say they wanted crazy new items. They say they wanted...
It doesn't matter how crazy the item is, by the way. If it's not a good item, like if it doesn't provide any value and it's just crazy for the sake of being crazy, no one's gonna fucking use it. And if it's broken by any chance, then everyone's just gonna hate it by default because everyone's gonna complain about the fact that it's OP. Hindsight is 2024, and this statement has aged like fine wine. It's also 10 times funnier than it should be just because of the state that the game is in currently. Anyways, I'm gonna clock out here. I've pretty much brought up all the talking points that I've wanted to address in this video, and with that, I can bring it to a close. So, like I said, thank y'all for watching. If by any chance the original creator is watching this video, first of all, hello there. And second, if you, the creator, or any other person watching this video have any disagreements that you want to share with me, feel free to share them in the comments below or come check me out on my live streams and chat with me there. You're also free to make a response video, and you're also free to use as much of this video as you want if you choose to make a response video. And with that said, thank you all for watching. I've already plugged all my stuff, so now all that's left for you to do is like the video if you enjoyed, or dislike if you didn't enjoy. Also, don't forget that everything I've used in this video is linked in the description below, along with my socials and other channels I think you should go check out. And as always, guys, I will see you all in the next video, or the next stream. Good night.